Alright, as you can see, folks, we've got another bite, and we're going to walk over to it, pick up the rod and throw the fish in, okay? Using the Automatic Fisherman is so simple. See, that fish is hooked up yet. Any kid can do this, as long as you know how. There, that's how we're catching just little bitty 14, 15, 13-inch walleyes on the Automatic Fisherman product. It's a really easy system to use. I'll show you how I use it after I get this fish off here. We're using suckers, and you see how right here they actually swallow the head first. They swallow that bait head first, right? That's how it went down the hatch. So by being able to let that fish have that 2 feet of slack line, lets the walleye actually take the bait better. So let's pretend I have a bait on here. I'll just use this dead sucker for example. I actually hook my minnows in front of the dorsal fin like this, right, like that, okay? So then I have the distance between the sinker and the hook about 1 foot. So then when I put this bait down, this bait down in the water column, I just go through and I pull out the line until the sinker hits the bottom. And you'll know that because you'll see this ice stopper, or you'll see the slack line laying kind of like that. We're fishing extremely shallow water right now. So you know that the sinker's on the bottom right now because you see this line coiling up like that. So now we're going to go through and just drop the ice stopper system in there. I'm going to stand the triggering system up, and I'm going to engage that rod to that pin like this. A little ice up here. So now that fishing rod is engaged to that pin. We're going to go through and reel up any slack line that's in there so the ice stopper stands straight up. So now I know my sinker is just a little bit off of the bottom, and then we're going to go through and just pull this bobber down all the way to the base. What that's going to do is that's going to go through and take that sinker and lift that sinker up 12 inches. So then the minnow will come up and be right on the bottom. So then when I put this, there's 24 inches of line going to come out of the system when I pull that bobber down. So when I pull it down the rest of the way, it's going to raise that minnow up 12 inches off the bottom. So now I know that my bait is 12 inches off the bottom. Then I'm going to turn on my blue tips indicator so I can be sitting in my shack and get a signal that the system went off. The very last thing I do is I fill it up with the ice stopper solution. This ice stopper there's an 1.5 inches of ice right now, and that line will go through there just very easily, like there's nothing there, allowing that walleye to take that 2 feet of slack and get that bait in their mouth better. You don't need it all the time, but when it's super cold out and the walleyes are finicky, that's when you need this stuff. And then, so the very last thing I do is I take the ice stopper, I kind of clean it off up here, I snap it open like that, and I just take it and I put my finger underneath the bottom, fill it up to the top, snap it together. Damn it. I snap it together and I just basically put it back in the water. Making sure that the line is like that. And so basically that trap right now is set up for another walleye to come and grab it. You see here, I have these little pins in the bobber, and I have 2 holes drilled in the base of the system. That allows me to put that bobber right there and then have that, so if it's super windy out, that bobber isn't going to go anywhere, but when the walleye, perch, or crappie or whatever grabs that bait, grabs it, it can pull it out really easily, just like this. Now that fish has that bait, he just dropped to the bottom, he's turning that minnow, sucking on it, getting it a little bit better in his mouth. Second that line gets tight, bang, the rod snaps up, sets the hook in the fish. You get the indication that the light system went off, and you reel your fish in. It's a really cool system. Check them out at automaticfisherman.com for more information, and your local retailer and your local bait shops. Thanks for your time. Bye.